Hello there, this is Soul, and I've come to make you a tutorial on the fisheye group or the multi-hoop grip. This is done with quad hooping, and it looks a little bit like this. So you've seen a little bit earlier, I was playing around a lot with that, and you can do a lot of cool different variations from it and get really creative. The only thing you gotta learn is the proper way to grip the hoops. So let me help you out with that, and let's get started. For all of my tutorials, I'm gonna make it really simple. My left hand is always gonna have my yellow hoop and my blue hoop. My right hand will always have my red hoop and my green hoop. It'll keep it really simple so you guys can stay focused on which arms I'm doing, and that it's not that hard of a trick. It's just you have to learn the placement of the hoops and the proper way to grip it. Once you feel comfortable with that, you'll be slaying it in no time. So the easiest way is going to be put your hoops down so that way you can see the way for your hand position. The way that it's going to go is you're going to put both of your hands forward like this. And if you've ever seen Star Trek or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, kind of want to split it so that it looks like that. Once you have that, the way that the hoops are going to go is you're going to hold it with your pinky finger and your ring finger. Pow! Then you're also going to hold it with your pointer finger and your middle finger like that with the second hoop. So if you want to get comfortable with how you're holding that, maybe you could drill it with your hands to learn how to split it like that and then to hold it as well. So now you kind of see what you're doing with your hands. Let's break each of the hands actually down. So going with my left hand, I'll hold my hoops in my right so you could focus on my left hand. You're going to go ahead and split it like that, and you're going to put your palm so that it's facing upwards. From that position, you're going to go ahead and put your first hoop. Mine is going to be the blue hoop, and you're going to set it right in that split so that it's being held on top of your ring finger and your pinky. From that position, you're going to go ahead and hold it tightly because that's going to be where it's going to go. So not only am I going to be just holding it down with my pinky and my ring finger, I'm also squeezing with my middle finger and my ring finger to kind of keep it into that held position. So once it's like that, go ahead and get comfortable with actually moving it back from side to side so you can hold the plane steady and feel comfortable with your hand holding it in that position. So once it's like that, go back to your palm facing up and open it with the V, how you had before. And then that's where you're going to actually set your second hoop in and how you're going to hold it. So you're going to set that right on top, so it's going to intersect right there. Once you have that, you kind of use your thumb right here to hold the yellow hoop into position. You see, if I'm not holding it with my thumb, it gets a little weird and it's not that good shape. Hold it with your thumb and it keeps it steady. Now once you're holding it in that position with your yellow hoop being held with your pointer finger and your middle finger, and the blue hoop is being held with my ring finger and my pinky finger, then you just use your thumb for support on the top. Now go ahead and get comfortable with going from side to side and practicing those drills as well. Okay? So once you feel comfortable with your left hand, you're going to want to go ahead and switch it over to your right hand. So I'm going to set my two hoops down, pick up my green and my red hoop. Since we're using my right hand, I'll hold the hoops in my left. And again, you want to split it like Star Trek. Palm facing upwards. Then you're going to put your first hoop, the red one being that, right in the split, and right here. so that it's being held by your pinky and your ring finger. And again, we're going to drill that so that we feel comfortable with it. Go ahead and hold it tight, squeeze with your ring finger and your middle finger, and now go ahead and try some plane control. Go from side to side and feel really comfortable with holding it in that hand position side to side. Once you feel comfortable with that, go ahead and put your hand back out, palm facing upwards, and split it again in that same position. Once you have that position, again, now you're going to set your other hoop, which is my green hoop, so that it's being held by my pointer finger and my middle finger. Once you have those, so it's in between just like that, again, you want to use your thumb to hold the green hoop for support, otherwise it gets all weird and out of shape. And then hold for support. Once it's in that position, feel comfortable with going from side to side. Really get that plane control. Okay, everybody. So once you get comfortable with them, there's a lot of different fun things you can do with it. So I'm just going to show you a couple, and then you could play around from it from there. So one thing I like to do is to flip them inwards, make them all nice and even. And what you can do is pull outwards, and it makes a really cool flower. From there, you kind of just do different motions to kind of give that wild, trippy style. So don't let this hold you back. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. If you know reels, you can do reels with that too. You can do a weave, you know, behind the back. So there's so many different fun things you can do by holding it in the fisheye grip. I would recommend playing around with it, get comfortable with it, trying how to transition from other tech into it. Once you get it, it's a very fun move, and it's always a crowd pleaser. So why don't you go ahead and give that a try, and if you'd like more help on this, I actually learned from a tutorial from Mike Hayataka on YouTube. He is super phenomenal with all of his flow. He also taught me the ISO flower, so I thank him a lot, and he's one of my biggest flow inspirations. So I definitely recommend, if you want a little bit more in depth, go check out his tutorials, and have fun with it, guys. Pleasant hooping.